What's one misconception about you?
There are no misconceptions about me.
Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
You gotta give up that butt, and I can change your family life.
Starting to act different, huh?
But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah.
That's it.
Behind the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry lies a world most people never see. A world where fame is their currency and power is their drug. But every so often, cracks in the curtain reveal glimpses of the dark reality playing out behind the scenes. And as the pillars of this carefully crafted illusion start to crumble, we catch a glimpse of the true price of fame.
Drake, Justin Bieber, Kevin Hart.
I was like a slave. All the champagne was spiked. Everybody was passed the out. You gotta say no to Diddy.
The most recent pillar to crumble being rapper, producer, and record executive Diddy. As according to a federal indictment, Diddy has been the leader of a criminal enterprise engaged in alleged arson, kidnapping, forced labor, bribery, trafficking, and obstruction of justice. What really opened the floodgates for Diddy was his ex-girlfriend Cassie accusing him of and years of abuse in a 2023 lawsuit. Cassie alleges in this lawsuit that Diddy often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on her, resulting in burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding, even stating that when Cassie attempted to break things off with the rapper, he allegedly her in her own home. This lawsuit was settled just days after being filed. However, Diddy wasn't able to sweep it under the rug, as CNN would release security footage where Diddy can be seen chasing Cassie down the hallway in nothing but a towel, throwing her to the ground, stomping on her head, taking her bags, kicking her some more, and then dragging her down the hallway back to his hotel room. Suddenly, all eyes were on Diddy, with many going through what else was alleged in the lawsuit, including Diddy blowing up Kid Cudi's car after hearing rumors that he was romantically interested in Cassie. However, what's really blown the floodgates wide open was when Cassie described Diddy's parties and something known as freak-offs. Freak-offs are described in the indictment as elaborate drug-fueled sex performances that Diddy arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often recorded. These parties allegedly lasted days and left victims requiring IV drips to recover.
Who's the person that's #1 on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Some people speculate that these freak-offs were somewhere between a ritual where willing participants would be rewarded with success in their careers brought by the connections of the powerful players in attendance, or their recordings were used as blackmail so Diddy and his associates could control their careers. Celebrities who have since been connected to Diddy's parties range from Kevin Hart and Justin Bieber to LeBron James and Ashton Kutcher. But before we get into why they are being connected, it's important to mention that Diddy's personal bodyguard, Gene Deal, has been very public about his experience working for Diddy and has come forward with some pretty shocking allegations. Gene even explained in an interview that they would open fresh bottles of alcohol in front of the guests so they felt comfortable drinking them, but that the orange juice and cranberry juice they would mix them with had already been spiked with ecstasy and roofies.
They see the bottles and they trying to keep their eyes on it because they don't want to get no kind of drugs put in their system. But what they don't understand is in the orange juice and it's in the cranberry juice.
The allegation of drugging guests at a party to perform sexual acts became even more disturbing when people unearthed footage of a 15-year-old Justin Bieber hanging out with a 40-year-old Diddy in a video titled Justin Bieber's 48 Hours with Diddy. In this video, Diddy claims that he has been given custody of Justin Bieber, going on to say that, quote, "We're hanging out, and what we're doing, we can't really disclose."
I have been given custody of him. What we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
At the time, Justin Bieber was signed to Usher's record label, and Diddy had actually done something similar with him. For some reason, a 13-year-old Usher lived with Diddy in his home for a year and attended his fair share of Diddy parties. In a 2016 Howard Stern interview with Usher, Usher described this time in his life as confusing, saying, quote, "I don't know if I could even understand what I was looking at."
Some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Howard asks Usher if he would let his child live at Diddy's house, to which Usher replies with a stern No. Unfortunately for Justin, the 48 hours with Diddy wouldn't be the last time the two crossed paths, with people online discovering another video from a year later where Diddy shows up unannounced to a studio that a 16-year-old Justin is working in, and presses him on how he's acting different.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
With the recent news of Diddy coming to light, some people started connecting it to an emotional, tearful interview Justin Bieber did with Apple Music in 2020, where he reflects on the difficulties of being young in the entertainment industry and the challenges he faced.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters.
However, if Justin's relationship with Diddy wasn't confusing enough, footage also began circulating of Diddy seemingly checking Justin Bieber for a wire before whispering something in his ear. The internet's imagination started to run wild when people started paying attention to an interview with Freddie P, a former member of Diddy's group, Da Band, where Freddie alleges that Diddy offers success and money in exchange for anal sex. Freddie claims that this is because Diddy had to have anal sex with men to become successful, and because of that, he wants others to go through what he had to go through.
Diddy from that world, so I could intermediate. I could get percentages from negotiating and making this deal, but you gotta give up that butt. You gotta give up that butt and royalties. And I can change your family life. You know why? Because he had to give up that butt.
This is also backed up by Orlando Brown, when he said in an interview that Diddy doesn't want your girlfriend, he wants you.
Bro, the requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the bitch, but he wants you.
Another curious connection to Diddy is none other than Ashton Kutcher. Following Diddy's arrest, a 2019 clip from Ashton Kutcher's interview with Hot Ones went viral, where Ashton reflects on his relationship with Diddy. According to Ashton, he quickly became friends with the rapper in 2003. When the host asked if he had any Diddy party stories, Ashton struggled to think of a story he could share publicly.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. Diddy party stories, man. That was like some weird memory lane.
It's a little loose, but something confusing about Ashton's supposed connection to Diddy is that it wouldn't be the first time he's been caught hanging around a offender, as back in 2023, Ashton Kutcher wrote a letter to the judge overseeing Danny Masterson's case and asked for leniency in his sentencing. At the time, Danny Masterson had been arrested after 3 women claimed he had raped them, and 2 more claimed he sexually assaulted them. Following Ashton's request for leniency, Danny was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison for 2 counts of forcible rape. To make matters worse, Ashton Kutcher is also a founder of the organization Thorn, a nonprofit built to defend people from sexual abuse, something that both of his friends, Danny Masterson and now Diddy, have been accused of. Another celebrity that fans have been tying to Diddy is none other than LeBron James, as an Instagram Live with both Diddy and LeBron resurfaced, where LeBron reminds everyone that there isn't a party like a Diddy party.
And giving everybody a life. Man, this is an unbelievable thing, man. Like everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're about to go off the Diddy deep end and enter conspiracy theorist territory, but former WNBA player and Olympic gold medalist Cappie Pondexter claimed in an Instagram Live that LeBron James is allegedly a human trafficker, stole all her money, and that he was responsible for her going missing.
I ain't confused. I ain't on that shit. That tried to kill me for real. I just got out of that shit. I've been missing for almost like 2 years. I do not with LeBron James. That is a trafficker, my nigga. That is a trafficker. He is a trafficker. He trafficked women in real time. That throw all my money out of my bank account.
Now, according to the Chicago Sun-Times, Cappy did go missing in 2020, but only 24 hours later, her family confirmed that they had located her. If we weren't deep enough, we're about to go even deeper. In 2018, a South African adult entertainer opened fire in one of Donald Trump's hotels, and would later claim in an interrogation with the police and Secret Service that he was Diddy's sex slave.
I was like a slave, okay? For them, that's what I was.
Take this with a massive grain of salt, as this man is obviously unwell, but unprompted, he informs both law enforcement and the Secret Service that Diddy belongs to the Illuminati and that he had sex with both Cassie and Diddy, going on to say that Diddy often masturbated while telling Jonathan what to do to Cassie, and during these escapades, he often overheard Diddy on the phone discussing business.
I had like 15 encounters and I heard lots of business. The hip-hop agenda is to move drugs all over the United States. They move all the dope on private jets.
The crazy part about this interrogation is that a lot of what Jonathan says about his experience with Diddy in 2018 lines up with what Cassie said in her 2023 lawsuit. Something curious about this entire Diddy situation is that following his arrest, a couple of notable things have happened. For example, Kevin Hart, someone who is alleged to have attended Diddy's freak-offs and has appeared on leaked footage taken at a Diddy party, closed all 4 locations of his restaurant Hart House. Usher deleted all 7,000 of his tweets, and Kevin Liles, chairman and CEO of Warner Music's 300 Elektra Entertainment, resigned. Kevin had been with Warner since 2004, a label that also housed Diddy's Bad Boy Records. We're going off the deep end once again, as Gene Deal, Diddy's bodyguard, has even claimed on video that all of this goes deeper than Diddy.
But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Cause you know who else they was doing investigation on during that whole time period? It was the mayor and the politicians in New York City.
For what it's worth, since Diddy's arrest, a federal investigation has launched in New York City, leading to the mayor's chief counsel resigning, the New York City police commissioner resigning, as well as the New York City health commissioner resigning. It's difficult to say whether or not these resignations are connected to Diddy, but the mayor had honored Diddy in the past by giving him a key to the city, a key he has since requested Diddy return. It's difficult to discern what's real and what's not, who's actually involved in Diddy's freak-offs, and who just happened to be at one of his parties. After Homeland Security raided Diddy's house, they found drugs, 3 weapons with defaced serial numbers, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. They are also now in possession of the freak-off tapes, so perhaps we'll see some more footage as the trial progresses. Either way, it's always interesting when we're reminded that things aren't as they appear, and that the glittery, happy lives often forced onto us by those in the entertainment industry are often just a mask covering up what really lurks underneath. As the trial progresses, it will be interesting to see where Diddy's case goes, and what other names come out, and whether or not anything actually happens to them.